Matt Walsh's days at the Daily Wire are numbered. Benjamin Netanyahu is blaming Iran, says he has proof that they are the ones that tried to put the hit on Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Iran tried to assassinate President Trump twice. Do you have intel that the assassination attempts on President Trump were directly from Iran?
Through proxies, yes.
Donald Trump wants a peace deal between Iran and Israel. And last but not least, Tucker Carlson flips on Iran.
I think what you say is you either stop your nuclear program or we will bring down an earthquake upon you using God's wrath.
I do think, I'm sure I'm the lone voice in saying this, I think Iran deserves to be annihilated. I think they're lunatics. I think they're evil.
And is basically simping for their existence now. Welcome back to the channel, Ben Dykes News Network. Let's jump right into this. This is a hot button item. Like I said at the very beginning of the show, Matt Walsh's days are numbered at the Daily Wire. This is a tweet that Matt Walsh put out. The U.S. has been at war with one random Middle East country after another for my entire adult life. It's baffling that there are people who want this to continue. Can we focus on our own problems for a change? Is that such a radical suggestion? Matt Walsh is absolutely spot on. The United States has been at war in some level, form, or fashion with a country in the Middle East since my existence. I was born mid-70s, and during that time, it was Jimmy Carter with Iran, and he kicked out all the students. Then we roll right into Reagan, the Bushes, the Clintons, the Obamas, Trump, Biden, back to Trump. And he is exactly right. Now, there are certain people within the government that thrive on conflict. Lindsey Graham is one that comes to mind. Well, another one that comes to mind is Nikki Haley, and I'm not sure where she's at or if she has been in Israel promoting any of these attacks. That's up to you to decide. If you or a loved one is on Medicare, listen up. The Department of Justice just filed fraud complaints against 3 of the largest Medicare brokers for steering seniors to plans that had the highest kickbacks and not the best plans for you. This is why I recommend Chapter. Founded after the creator's own parents were scammed, Chapter is fully independent and searches every Medicare plan available to find what actually fits your need. No steering, no pressure, just honest help at zero cost to you. Chapter has saved the average senior over $1,100. If you need help with Medicare, call Chapter at 332-867-1305. But the big sentence that really caught my attention that will probably get him fired by Ben Shapiro is, can we focus on our own problems for a change? Is that such a radical suggestion? Ben Shapiro, you know where he comes from, or you know where his heritage comes from, and more importantly, where a lot of his money may come from. I don't want any American troops sent anywhere outside the United States. I would love for all of our troops right now to be in Los Angeles, to be at our southern border. More importantly, some I would like to see at our northern border. Matt Walsh brings up a great point that is probably too much of a common sense statement for him to stick around at the Daily Wire, because saying something like this turns the focus from the people with little hats back to the United States and the actual problems that we've witnessed here over the last 72, 96 hours. We've seen all of these No Kings protests. Some people are saying the cartels are funding this, openly admitted funding from the Walmart Christie Walton billionaire faction of America. And then Matt Walsh comes out after that and says Reagan's amnesty plan. He put this out this morning. Reagan's amnesty was one of the worst blunders by any president in the 20th century. Said, yes, it stained his legacy, destroyed it, actually. So now Matt Walsh is going after someone that many people would want to see on Mount Rushmore, which was Reagan. And Reagan did cause some problems in his own presidency.
But anyone from any corner of the earth can come to live in America and become an American.
Number one was this amnesty deal. And number two, he got rid of insane asylums, which would come in real handy right now with all of the freaks pandering across the United States for so many other groups outside of our own country. Matt Walsh brings up 2 very solid points that people are going to cancel subscriptions to the Daily Wire over. Because if you don't support them 100%, you're out. Jeremy Boring, Candace Owens. Now, Candace went a little too far, in my opinion. Went a little off the deep end. Over to Britain, married a rich lord's son, white guy, having some kids, and it's a safe distance for her over there to criticize America, even though she was married at, I want to say, one of Trump's hotels. Now she is 100% anti-Trump. I'm wondering how long before Matt Walsh can make this transformation and go anti-Trump as well. Now, one of the people that Matt Walsh is very critical of is right here, and this is Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He was on Fox News this morning.
I want to talk about the nuclear threat, and I want to talk about President Trump. You just said Iran tried to assassinate President Trump twice. Do you have intel that the assassination attempts on President Trump were directly from Iran?
Through proxies, yes. Through their intel, yes. They want to kill him. Look, he's enemy number one. He's a decisive leader. He never took the path that others took to try to bargain with him in a way that is weak, giving them basically a pathway to enrich uranium, which means a pathway to the bomb, padding it with billions and billions of dollars. He took up this fake agreement and basically tore it up. He killed Qasem Soleimani. He made it very clear, including now, you cannot have a nuclear weapon, which means you cannot enrich. He's been very forceful. So for them, he's enemy number one.
Yeah.
Look, they also tried to kill me, but I'm his junior partner.
When did
they
you
understand that?
There's a very powerful statement there. Benjamin Netanyahu lays out through proxies that he has evidence that Iran is behind trying to get rid of Donald Trump. And then Benjamin Netanyahu lets something slip there. I'm his junior partner. Now, I have to ask this question. With all of the chaos that Iran has caused since the late 70s, Khobar Towers, the barracks in, I want to say, Kuwait, think about this. Iran has produced a lot of damage. They have targeted a lot of Americans.
Attacks that Iran has committed against the United States since the Iranian Revolution and the establishment of the Islamic Republic. First up, we have the Tehran hostage crisis. U.S. embassy bombing in Beirut. 241 U.S. military personnel were killed. The U.S. embassy bombing in Kuwait. U.S. embassy annex bombing in Beirut. The kidnapping, torture, and murder of CIA Station Chief William Buckley in Lebanon. Skipping over a few because hopefully you remember this one when they stormed the U.S. embassy in Baghdad. Or most recently, the drone attack on the U.S. base in Jordan that killed 3 service members.
Benjamin Netanyahu brings up a great point that Iran is the leader of a lot of this chaos, as well as the main point is that Israel is surviving for their own survival. If Iran gets a nuclear weapon, what happens to Israel? I'll let you leave a comment down below. Now, I don't want to send any troops over there, but at the same time, Iran, if they are complicit with the attack on Donald Trump, Butler, Pennsylvania, maybe down at Mar-a-Lago, some other incidences that we probably don't even know about, do we take strategic action? Do we allow Israel to continue to make that strategic reaction there? I don't want to get involved with this whole thing, but at the same time, I think it's arrogant of the United States. Many people don't want the United States to be the world's police, but yet we want to tell other countries how to handle their own conflicts.
President Trump is a great threat to Iran's plans to weaponize nuclear weapons and use them.
When did you tell President Trump you were going to launch these strikes?
Look, I've been in constant contact with President Trump. We've known each other for many years. And obviously, we informed our American friends and President Trump, our great friend, ahead of time. We did. He knew about it, of course.
I mean, there were reports that President Trump kind of helped you achieve your strategic surprise by publicly urging you not to attack when he already knew you had decided to do it. So you were closely coordinating with the U.S. throughout this process.
Look, we're fully coordinated, but understand that America, under President Trump, will make the decisions that are best for America. And that's the way it is. He understands that I, as the Prime Minister of Israel, the one and only Jewish state, must make the decisions that are important for the survival of my country.
There you go. Now, that's a powerful statement. Benjamin Netanyahu comes out and says, as you know, Donald Trump is going to make the decisions best for America. And he has to make the decisions best for Israel. Now, I'm wondering how some people here in the United States that have never been to Israel, probably couldn't find Israel on a map, can decide how this prime minister defends his own country. I'll leave that for you to decide. Here's a post from True Social. Israel and Iran should make a deal and will make a deal. just like I got India and Pakistan to make in that case by using trade with the United States to bring reason, cohesion, and sanity in the talks with two leaders who were able to quickly make a decision and stop. I believe Donald Trump really wants peace around the world. The only troops that I can think of that Donald Trump has actually deployed while being a president, either in his first or now second term, is to California, of all places. There's a lot of places around the world that are a lot worse, a lot more dangerous, or at least, we thought they were more dangerous in California, but obviously not. Donald Trump has sent troops to California before he's deployed troops overseas. Think about that for a second when you start criticizing Trump and his foreign policies. Now, next up, I've got a clip here. This is from 2006 with Tucker Carlson, and I want you to hear his flip on Iran and what he used to think about Iran and what he thinks about them now.
I'm just struck by that in everything you see come from the government of Iran, there is anti-Semitism, which has got to be among the most off-putting things in the Western world. I think what you say is you either stop your nuclear program or we will bring down an earthquake upon you using God's wrath.
I do think, I'm sure I'm the lone voice in saying this, I think Iran deserves to be annihilated. I think they're lunatics. I think they're evil.
Netanyahu says, no, we need to bomb the hell out of them. We need to defeat them like we defeated Saddam and Assad and Gaddafi. We need to take out this evil regime. That's his line.
So it's not about nukes, what you're saying. You're saying it's not about nukes, it's about regime change.
I think.
Isn't that a real radical flip on Iran? Tucker Carlson wants them bombed into existence or out of existence, and then now is simping for them. Many people would say that. I would. Matt Walsh, suddenly a flip. What do you think about this? Love to get your opinion. Leave a comment down below. I want to show you something else here, and this is what we're up against here in the United States. When Matt Walsh says we have our own problems in the United States, this is one of our own problems.
Like, the United States is kind of trash.
Okay.
Doesn't treat its people well.
How so?
I don't really know why you're having this. Do you want to have a conversation?
Well, that's why I'm asking you. How so?
What do you mean?
You said the United States treats its people like trash, so I was just asking how.
I mean, right now, how many people are suffering because they can't afford health care? Let's start with there. How about
healthcare?
Got it. Well, Trump just slashed prescription drug prices by 50 to 80%.
so that
Are you
prescription
unhappy with
drug
that?
sellers can raise their prices? I mean, he's just working for fucking capitalism.
Well, he actually isn't taking a salary. And he's also lost $1 billion in his net worth from the first administration when the first time he ran.
He's taking money from literally anyone who will pay for his stupid fucking coin, his what is it? Trump coin, Dogecoin, I don't know.
There's a lot of cryptocurrencies that people make money off of. Are you upset with him making money? Are you upset with him making money? You can't.
There's the peaceful left. That's how they react whenever you hit them over the head with common sense. She had no excuses as to why America was bad. And he gave her facts and reasonable arguments, and they always resort to violence. We've seen it across the country over the last 96 hours. I believe we're going to see it over the next couple of months, possibly into the entire Trump presidency. The Democrats, the radical left, these no kings morons are going to continue until something major changes. I don't know how we end these protests. I don't know how this ever comes to an end, what Trump can do to stop this or to reason with these people.
I miss the days when people who joined cults dropped out of society. You want to go drink raw milk? You want to worship a billionaire? Great! Go do it away from me. I am so tired of their insanity being our problem. You want to be disconnected from reality and you want to talk to us about it? No! If you're going to be this disconnected with reality, I don't want to chat. I don't want to have beef with Canada. I want clean national parks and proper safeguarding of nukes. Go drink Kool-Aid in a jungle together and leave the rest of us alone.
Safe nukes and safe national parks. Okay, got it. That's the priorities of the left.
Here's how you know if your empathy is positive or if it has become toxic. 3 ways. Your empathy becomes toxic when it encourages you to validate lies, to affirm sin, or to support destructive policies. Empathy has turned toxic. Toxic empathy is the primary tool of persuasion used by progressives to manipulate well-meaning Christians. They use toxic empathy by employing our language, our Bible verses, our concepts, and then pervert them to morally extort us into adopting their position.
That's exactly right. They try to normalize some of this horrible stuff that's happening around the world. They try to normalize some of their addictions, some of their perversions. The progressives, the radical left, have learned out of our playbook. They've learned reasoning. Now, I don't know where the reasoning goes with all the riots and protests, other than acknowledging that we have been invaded. The invasion is continuing to happen. It's been slowed down. And now we have to get rid of the people that have invaded us. People like Matt Walsh are probably going to lose their jobs because they come out and speak openly about let's stay out of the wars. Let's get rid of the illegals, calling out Reagan for his amnesty deal. This is powerful stuff right now. And you're going to see a lot of people, a lot of these, quote, content creators, talking heads, they're going to crash out because they've painted themselves into a corner and they have trapped themselves with their own little perversions. This is the Ben Dykes News Network. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, thumbs up button. We do a live stream every morning, Monday through Friday, 0600. We start the day with news that you need. Take care.